give one more round of applause to these hardworking students. You know, as you go through these scholarship students, you may not realize this, but a lot of these are alumni that graduated, 1967, 1958, 1977, 1972, that thought enough of their school to put aside some money for scholarships for you. So we're hoping that after you complete your education and you get out into the world, that you will pay it forward in the same way some of these alumni did, because they are making it possible for you to get these awards tonight. And you should be proud of yourself for all your hard work, because we sure are. So now we're going to turn it over to Mr. Russell Chaboudy, but before we do that, we would like to get a group picture at the end of the evening when Mr. Chaboudy is done speaking. So if you could come up on the stage so we could get a group picture, and then we will have completed our program. I know it's a long evening. We appreciate you hanging in there with us, but thank you. Mr. Chaboudy?
Thank you and good evening. I'd like to wrap up our program with just a couple of short comments and then a little story. And board members, I apologize because you've heard this story many times. First of all, I'd like to congratulate all of the seniors for your scholarships. You persevered. You went in and you picked up a grant, you filled it out, and you actually turned it in. And so that was half the battle right there, because I can tell you, right, Mr. Medcalf, a lot of students thought about getting an award, thought about applying for a scholarship. Some of them took it, but they never turned it in. So congratulations for your perseverance, and now you got a little change in your pocket, so that's a good thing. I want to thank the School Foundation and the alumni, and I would ask everyone to give them applause because they made this night possible. Thank you guys. Thank you to our distinguished alumni. You were very inspiring. You brought back a lot of memories to me. Two things I want to mention. Miss Lane, one thing about Mr. Feldbush was, I never had him for class, but he was like larger than life. I was a football player, and between breaks, 2 days, we'd go watch the band practice, and we're like, thank goodness we're not in the band. Those people work hard over there, so. But that was neat. The other thing I learned was a lot of great people came from Grant School, so I'm one of those as well, so thank you, Grant School people. I cried when they closed that school down. Last, I'd like to thank our Board of Education members for helping me come full circle in my educational career. 48 years ago, I sat in the same seats you're in. Hopefully they've been reupholstered once or twice since then. But I remember receiving a $500 check to go to Marietta College. And back then, Marietta College cost $3,900 for a year. And I thought it was $1 million. How am I ever going to get that much money? Today, I believe it's over $40,000 to go to school there. So things have really changed. I grew up not too far from this high school. I grew up on 9th Street, down between Chestnut and Sackett. We had 6 kids in our family, attended Grant School, Bow Lake, and Cuyahoga Falls High School. And my father, who was one of my heroes, always told me, never forget where you came from. And so last November, when I'm sitting under a palm tree in Key West, Florida, and I get a call about coming back to Cuyahoga Falls and help out. And I was thinking about it like, well, I've already put in 40 years in public education. I've been retired for 3 years. I'm pretty happy. But then those words kept coming back to me. Never forget where you came from. And so I decided to come and talk to the board and interview with the board, and they offered me a job, and I accepted a 6-month contract with them. And it's been great, really, to come back and see a lot of people that knew our family, to see the new people in town that I've had a chance to meet. So it's just been wonderful. One thing I can guarantee all of you in this room, the students, is that sometime in your life, you're going to have an opportunity to give back to this school and this community that has done so much for you. And I want to give you some examples off the top of my head. First of all, the distinguished alumni. Hopefully one of you will be back up here, or all of you, or some of you, someday receiving that award and talking about the successes that you've had and the impact you've made on society. That's one way. Another way, maybe you're going to grow up and be a politician. Maybe you'll come back and be mayor of Cuyahoga Falls, like our current mayor and former graduate Don Walters. Or maybe you'll have a career in law enforcement, and you come back and be the police chief in Cuyahoga Falls, like our current police chief, Chief Davis. Or maybe you'll be an educator and come back and be a teacher in Cuyahoga Falls, like Mrs. White and Mrs. Moffett. Or maybe you'll be on the school board, like Mrs. White and Mrs. Moffett and Mr. Gomez, all graduates of Cuyahoga Falls High School. Maybe you'll give back by serving on the school alumni foundation, like two of my childhood heroes that are here tonight. Randy Caldwell, probably one of the greatest athletes that came out of Cuyahoga Falls. Although he doesn't live in town, he serves on the foundation and gives back that way. The other one is Chris Moeller Schrader, who was instrumental in the park and recreation program. Back when I was growing up, every summer we spent at Grant School the whole day there. It was a wonderful program that the park had, and Chris was a big influence on that program there. I asked her tonight, and some of your parents or grandparents may remember, there was an ice cream place right over here on Portage Trail. It's called Barn Hills, and they serve these huge ice creams there. But Chris would take us there in the park and rec, and I'll never forget that. Or maybe, just maybe, you'll be a school administrator, and you'll be standing up here addressing all of the students as the leader of the school district. So there's lots of possibilities. What I want you to remember, as that opportunity presents itself to you, just remember what some old black tiger told you one day: never forget where you came from. Thank you, congratulations, have a wonderful evening.
Okay, this concludes our programming. We did have plans for refreshments afterwards, but there is refreshments? Yes, we found them. Great. Okay. You're in luck. So after we do our group picture, feel free to leave, but we want to again thank you for coming. Do you have anything to say? Oh, we do have some membership cards out on the table, so if you're interested in giving back, feel free to pick up a membership, because anything over $25 goes directly to the scholarship fund, which supports this program. So thank you again for coming. Thank you for being such great students, distinguished alumni, grant recipients. We appreciate all of you, and have a good evening. If we could get the group picture, and then we're free to go.